Alright, welcome if you're watching this. This is not our championship game. This is a just fun game that we're doing as we wait one more week for the championship. This is what I'm calling the Civ4 AI Survivors Season 5 All-Stars. It's some of our top scoring leaders from past seasons that did not make the championship game. So just we'll go around in order. We have Julius Caesar, Justinian, Season 1 champion, Stalin, Season 3 champion, Mansa Musa, Wayne Kopak, Season 2 champion, Gandhi, he's won an opening round game, I think, like every single season, or close to it. And then Monty, who is a terrible AI, but we've tossed him in here just to make things spicy. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the things that's weird about this game is there's 5 different AIs who start with mysticism tech. So we're going to have a big old race for the first religion. And strangely, everyone is apparently going for meditation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not even one of them has gone for polytheism. Okay. So, yeah, okay. We also want to see where everyone's sending their settlers. So, it's wherever the archer or skirmisher is. That's where the settlers are going. So, keep an eye out for where they're going. Has anyone found it yet? Nope, not yet. But they're all on the move with their free deity. Oh, never mind. Wayne did. He was the first to settle. Right there. All right. So who's gonna? By the way, who's gonna win this race to meditation? It looks like Justinian at the moment. All-Star Games and Monty. That might be a fair call. So this is pretty good. Got a food resource here. Pulls in the gold. Pushes towards the center of the map. I like it. Gandhi similarly, food resource, picks up another happiness resource. Good choice. Grabs that ivory. Also moves towards the middle of the map. Julius Caesar grabs a floodplains region. Not bad. There's some desert tiles here, but he'll be able to farm these. And if he ever pops orders, he'll have the wheat. Who knows if he'll do that because he is famously slow to pop orders, but also looks solid. Stalin goes for the floodplains region. He can share this resource. He locks down that access to that iron down the road. Mansa Musa, Oasis spot along with cows seems like a solid choice. Just barely outside the range of these. He probably needs another city to pick these up unless he gets the Holy City. And Monty, the only one who hasn't settled yet. There he goes. All right. Not as good, but does grab the cows and picks up the iron resource. Why Kublai Khan left out? People are not as interested in Kublai Khan. I guess we could have put him into this game, but I had to draw the line somewhere. I wanted another high piece weight leader because otherwise Mansa would have absolutely no chance. So that's why Gandhi's in here, so we have another high piece weight leader. All right, so who is actually going to get this religion? It looks like it's going to be Justinian. And Mansa of all people, now is maybe in pole position to get the second religion because he opened with mysticism into polytheism while everyone else went on to meditation. So let's see if he does get this. All right, Justinian. Oh, I don't have choose religions on. Huh. I was like, why didn't he pick Christianity? I was like, oh wait, we don't have choose religions on. Oh well, that's fine. Just a little flavor thing, but yeah, there's no choose religions picked for this game. So yeah, he will have his own religion, and it looks like Mansa will get the other one, which is really weird. You wouldn't think Mansa in this game with 5 AIs who start with mysticism landing that, but it looks like he's going to get it, and we have Waina, Kopak, Monty, and Gandhi all chasing after this second religion, and none of them are going to get it. So, sucks to be them. We'll see how well Justinian's able to spread his religion. The border pops are not going to be super impactful, although, does get him this copper. Although he was building a monument anyway, so who knows. It will give him these gem resources out in the third ring, too. Why does Mansa go for religion in some games? I think Mansa usually goes for mysticism. I don't think he's one who ignores religion. He's usually one who does head down that path. The real surprise is Gandhi not having a religion. You can turn it on in World Builder, right? But the game's already started. I'm not going into World Builder once the game started. It's an option that you have to set before the game begins. Like, I don't think that there's an option here in the world builder that says turn on choose religions. You have to do it before the game starts. Yeah, you can't do it from here. Where would you set... I don't know where you would set that option. Okay, people are saying you can. I don't know how you would do that from here. Anyway, I'm not... it's fine. We can play the game with the default religions. It's not a big deal. It's not that big of a deal, seriously. Initial religions are already gone. So let's go ahead and take a look at where anyone is building settlers. See if the imperialistic... Is Justinian the only imperialistic leader in this game? Yes, I did. Observer Civ is plus 100. We have all the standard setup for one of our games, you guys. I'm thinking Justinian, I believe, is the only imperialistic leader in this game. I don't think anyone else... Yeah, no one else is imperialistic. We do have quite a few financial leaders, though. We've got Mansa and Wainakapa. I guess we just have two. That's not that many. Oh, Julius Caesar's imperialistic. That's right. That's right. Julius Caesar's imperialistic as well. And for some reason, he's using building a settler in a location where he's not getting that bonus at all. So Justinian's probably going to be the first one with a settler out because he's got it under construction in his capital. Look at Gandhi here building the settlers with his mining tech. Mansa now belatedly going for agriculture, which he probably should have gone for sooner because he does have this corn at his capital. I did not set picks because we're not doing the picking contest for this game, so I didn't want to put any picks down for that reason. Yeah, the AI definitely doesn't the AI doesn't play the game any differently when they're imperialistic. Like here, clearly this should be... Oh no, there's not... I was going to say this should be set to this tile, but there's not enough food. The city would be starving if that happened, so they won't do that. But if Julius Caesar were to farm one of these tiles, I don't know if he has agriculture. No, he doesn't have agriculture, so he can't farm that tile, unfortunately for him. All he can do is mine. Oh, did he just lose his worker there? Or did he run it back? No, wait, did he run his worker back into his capital? Because I think... No, he just lost his worker there. This archer attacked and must have won a low odds battle. Because usually the archer attacked across a river onto a hill against a warrior, and the AI gets big bonuses against barbarians, but it still won, and it killed the worker. That's a pretty big setback, having no worker available to improve tiles. That means no chance to improve these, although did manage to improve some of these mines, although now that might get pillaged. Nope, never mind. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of a big setback to lose your starting worker like that. But Justinian's already got a settler out, and it looks like he's headed down towards Stalin. I think it's probably going to found right on this tile, would be my guess. Yep. Alright, well, they're going to be in contention for this part of the map here. I guess it's nice for Julius Caesar that Justinian has gone east and south and has not pushed to the north just yet. So there should be a bunch of other people finishing settlers. So Mansa's got one out here on the move. Does anyone else have a settler walking around? Monty just finished one. Wainakopek's got one heading north. And Gandhi has one headed to the northwest coast. Let's see where these go. So Gandhi has founded a city here. That's an odd choice for a city. Doesn't seem to claim much of anything. Couldn't he have found a better spot than that? Why not over here? Gandhi, seriously, why not like right here? With the pigs in the first ring, floodplains tiles, the gold. Seriously, like why? Why this? What makes this coastal spot so appealing? The snow-covered trees? I don't know. It's the AI, they do weird stuff. Anyway, so Mansa's still walking. His settler's right under this guy. He should try to get this corn tile in the first ring. Alright, he's probably going to found right here, I would think. Or one tile to the west, but probably where he is. Alright. So it has some food. I wouldn't say this is a great city or anything, but it's got one food resource, and that makes it worth having. Gandhi founded the real poverty point. Wainakopek established a city in a place where he can use some of these pretty nice resources around his start. Dry corn and sheep in the second ring. A lot of hills to mine. Looks pretty good. He also did the cheap version of a resource tile, which is to mine a pig resource that's on a hill, and then you mine it. 2 food, 3 production. It's a mini resource tile. Since he apparently doesn't have animal husbandry yet, he might as well do that to take advantage. He also farmed this horse tile and farmed this cow tile. Cow tile is also like a mini resource. 3 food, 1 production, 1 commerce. That's a pretty good tile to work, even if he can't improve it with animal husbandry. Oh, and he's also improved the gold resource too. That's a nice start. Now he needs to get roads connected, which he must have because he's researching pottery, so he must have wheel. And a 7-turn Stonehenge, yeah. That would be pretty nice, although not as needed for him because he has the terraces, but still pretty nice. Also, I thought Monty was had a settler out here. Yeah, he's got a settler right here underneath the interface. That said, if this Barb Archer attacks, it will kill this. But fortunately for him, Wynakoppak was all over it with his Quechua. Yeah, this settler is not safe from this Barb Archer. It's only at 1.3 health. But again, Wynakopak's like, don't worry, I got you, bro. And his Quechua keeps killing those Barb units. So yeah, having the bonus against archers is really nice for the AI. Like, you might not think the Quechua is a very good unit, but the AI struggles so much with barbarians. Having warriors that are good against Barb Archers really does help a lot. Here you go. If you want to see the unit. Got the little sun shield and a face that does not look good when you zoom in this close. You really aren't intended to look this closely at the unit models in Civ4. Anyway, so Caesar also tossed down a city, and he picked a pretty good spot. He's got double animal husbandry resources, fish in the second ring. He needs to make sure he researches animal husbandry, which I don't think he has. No, but hopefully he will sooner or later. Also needs to get agriculture. He should not be researching bronze working. He needs agriculture pretty badly for this start because he's got so many floodplains. Bronze working is not actually going to do a whole lot. But the pottery is nice. He did go early pottery. He can cottage these floodplains. I guess he doesn't need agriculture that badly if he cottages the floodplains. So anyway, and then Stalin is the one person who still has not gotten a third city. Oh, this could be trouble with the barbarians. I guess he's all right, but there are a fair number of barb units. Oh, and somebody founded Judaism. I missed that. I'm pretty sure that that's someone who didn't already have a. Oh, it's. Wait, Gandhi? Or no, not Gandhi. Mansa? Mansa founded both of the first two? Okay. Well, that means he's locking out a lot of the rest of the field on religion. He probably went there because he had the stone. And he was like, well, if I need masonry for stone, I might as well keep going. And now he's trying to build Stonehenge. And it looks like he's going to win the race with Wynakoppak because he's got the stone. And he's putting 26 production per turn into this. So yeah, I think he's got that. Oh, and he's going to build Great Wall too. Okay, Mansa. Mansa doing his thing. Off and running. Now if he can just survive all these low peace weight leaders. Alright, so Stalin gets his third city. All the resources are in the second ring, so if Stalin does his I refuse to research mysticism thing, this is not going to be a very good city. That is one of his weaknesses. He has this tendency to ignore mysticism. As for Monty's city, Monty City is all in the jungle. Also, Monty is not handling this start very well at all. Look, he doesn't have a single resource. Look at his capital. No resources connected at all. This is a very sad looking capital. I mean, the problem's not the capital city. It's got copper and pigs and rice, all really good stuff. He's just bungling the start. So Stalin could easily get religion from either of his neighbors. He's close to both of them. Justinian's is more likely to spread because it's on the same river. But he's close to both holy cities. Actually, he's close to 3 holy cities because there's double holy cities over here. Monty has Badlands. It's true he has a lot of jungle. That's absolutely true. But his capital is solid. I mean, Wynakopak's land is unquestionably better up there. Let's see the conclusion of this Stonehenge race. So that was built by Mansa Musa. We'll just refresh the map again. So Wynakoppak doesn't get that. He will get a fair amount of fail gold. And now he's going for animal husbandry, which is the tech he needed to pick up. So a lot of these capitals are looking pretty good. Like Wynakopek still hasn't finished animal husbandry, but like he's getting a lot out of this capital right now. He's also managed to get the gold resource connected here, so he should be the early tech leader based on what we're seeing thus far. Monty's a disaster. Mansa's capital looks great. He's got his resources connected. He does need to get animal husbandry. I don't think you can see this resource yet. Researching bronze working. Gandhi is well, he's improved, he's mined a lot of these hill tiles, so there's that. And he has farmed his wet corn, but he does need to get like roads so he can connect this stuff together. Also, the fact that he's not planted a settler in this area yet is really weird. Stalin seems to be doing well. He's connected his resources, mined his hills. This looks good. 4-turn settler is pretty nice. Justinian, who also struggles from bad starting techs. He's doing all right. He's connected his food bonuses at least. Doesn't have production yet. He's about to finish a settler. As for Caesar, this is not quite as good. Biggest issue is he has not been farming or cottaging floodplains. He's building a cottage over there, but his capital is a little underimproved. Caesar needs to get animal husbandry done. That's his weakness right now. He needs that tech and he hasn't researched it. Anyway, so that's where we stand right now. Julius Caesar also lost us a worker to barbarians. Justinian's the first one to finish a 4th settler. It's a little weird that our imperialistic leaders are right next to each other. And Mansa finishes another wonder. I'm going to get a quick flyby of the Great Wall. Yeah, I do think the Great Wall looks really fantastic in this game, the way it just follows the borders. Like you can zoom in and fly along the Great Wall. Getting a chance to see it up close. Doesn't work in multiplayer games. You have to be logged into the game when the turn rolls to see it. But here in single player, you get to see it up close. Anyway, pretty cool Great Wall. Sometimes you can have a Great Wall that's like completely sad, but this one is a pretty nice looking Great Wall. Okay, so Justinian, we were following his settler, which looked like it was going to go to the northeast. Now it's apparently has turned and he's heading to the northwest or the north. Going to push up towards Caesar. We've got our first Barb city popping up too. I wouldn't say this is a spectacular city, but it's not a bad choice. On a river, has some floodplains in the second ring, has a grassland cow in the second ring. Looks pretty solid. Let's see if anyone else has a settler out on the map right now. Monty? No, that's a worker. Usually the AIs get their settlers out at roughly the same time. Oh, Stalin finished one. He is heading to the southeast. So there is very low odds that this Barb Warrior could kill the Archer. Yeah. Not surprising, but it can happen. Like, there was maybe like 1% odds that the Barb Warrior could attack the Archer, kill it, and then raise the city. Doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. Also, this is a garbage city, so I don't know why Stalin settled here. Definitely could have picked a better spot than that. So, Caesar apparently has another settler out as well. So we'll see. He's probably going to this hill tile. That would be the natural spot to pick. Archer on a hill shouldn't have any trouble killing barbarians. Alright, so that's a good spot. Double food bonuses on a hill. Good production city, not a great commerce city overall. Mansa also has 4 cities. I don't think he has another settler out. Or no, he doesn't. I don't see a 4th city for Mansa. He has a 4th settler out, but not a 4th city. We can see where this one's going. Probably just to grab this. He's probably going to go right here because he wants the wines plus the rice tile. Yeah, so some of these leaders are spreading out well. It looks like Justinian and Mansa are like the early score leaders. Caesar and Stalin and Montezuma, but part of this is just because they don't have, like, part of this is just these leaders are missing land points because they haven't popped their borders. Like, everything's first ring, not second ring. That does matter. I mean, they have fewer tiles available to work. Also, here's the cottaged, the cottaged pigs tile. Caesar, you need to get animal husbandry. Well, he's working on it. And Wynakopak's about to toss down his next city. Seems like a pretty good spot to take advantage of the floodplains tiles. Not a lot of resources here, but hills. Being on a hill is smart. Locks down the border with Monty. Now he can feel free to push more to the west. And then he's still got that back line. There's room for a couple more good cities here. So far, I like Wynakopak's opening, I like Mansa's opening, and I like Justinian's opening too. I think Justinian's doing a nice job. He's still got a lot of territory over here that hasn't been claimed. Caesar going to destroy his economy? Possibly. He did put down some cottages though. So like there is this, right? I mean, Caesar likes to expand, but he's got a hamlet here, he's got a cottage here, he's building another cottage here. So as long as he doesn't farm over these tiles, he will have some commerce coming in. He's got another cottage here. It's actually working 4 cottages right now. So maybe he won't destroy his economy. And with that, we are 50 turns into the game. So we'll go ahead and look at our bar graphs. It is not surprising that Monty's in last place. What is surprising is Monty still doesn't have any resources connected. Does he still lack the wheel? Yes, he does. Where has he been investing his research? So archery, meditation, masonry. Oh man, this dude, no mining, no wheel. This guy kind of sucks as a UI, and this guy kind of sucks as an AI. So yeah, Monty is definitely doing the worst out of all these leaders. Wynakopak's off to a good start with room to expand in his backlines. Mansa's doing Mansa things. He's already built 2 wonders and connected copper. And apparently he's building the pyramids in a size 1 city because who knows. Stalin I don't think is in great shape, but there's still plenty of time. Justinian got his religion, and he will no doubt be spreading that soon now that he's got the monastery. Caesar, I think, is doing all right. He is really good at expanding. Like, that's kind of what he needs to do. I wouldn't say this is a great start, but there's plenty of room for more cities. Now he just needs to crank out the settler. If he's already got another settler going out, he's probably going to be the first to 5 cities. Gandhi has a lot of resources. Actually, no, he doesn't have a lot of resources connected. I was going to say he has a lot of resources in his territory, but he's a little slow to expand and he tends to focus too much on culture. It's strange that Gandhi did not get a religion because it's very bizarre seeing him not having a religion. All right, GMP, Mansa, Wynakopak, and Justinian are tops. This isn't that surprising. A lot of religious culture pumping up the GMP production. Hard to say, except Caesar and Monty are struggling there. Food, again, not a lot of separation yet. Power, Stalin. Gandhi actually respect for it now. Montezuma's last because he doesn't have any tile improvements done. Why do I call them bar charts? Well, I mean, that's kind of what they are, right? They're bar graphs. Like, that's kind of what this is. I guess technically they're lines and not bars, but same general idea. Caesar's probably... It would be smart if he tried to grab this, like this dry wheat, but he might just found a city here, which would be a lot weaker. Seems to be handling the barbarians. So Gandhi did finally establish the city that he should have picked up earlier. This is a much, much higher quality city than Vijayanagara. And Wynakopek is now founded on top of the marble, so this will be connected as soon as he researches masonry. And then he'll have the other wonder resource. Mansa Musa has stone, and then he will have marble. There's apparently a race for the Temple of Artemis, which is one of the game's worst wonders. Like, Mansa's building it, Gandhi's building it. It looks like Gandhi's going to get it. Is the Grassland Hill Silver near Gandhi a natural occurrence? Where's the Grassland Hill Silver? It must be, because this didn't pop out of a mine, and I did not put this on the map. It is very weird seeing that there, I agree, but I did not put that resource on the map, so it must be a natural occurrence. Or, oh, no, you know what it is? He must have popped it, and then it got pillaged. He must have popped it, and then it got pillaged by barbarians. Because I think that's right. It doesn't normally pop up. Gandhi definitely has mining research. It's one of his 2 starting techs. Yeah, he must have popped that, and then it got pillaged by a barb. Stalin also founded this city recently, which is going to give him a gold resource, and it's probably worth having just for that. And Caesar did put this in the correct spot, which is with the food bonus. And he actually has 5 resources there, although these 2 won't be useful for a long time, and the wines won't be useful for a while either. Alrighty. So yeah, we're starting to see some of the early game leaders. Mansa needs to continue expanding. He's on 4 cities, which is fine, but he needs to not just build wonders, he needs to keep popping out those settlers. Justinian's been working on the Oracle for some time, even starving his capital. He needs to chop down some more of these forests, like chop this down and mine the tile if he wants production. He's probably going to get the Oracle, though, because I don't see anyone else building it. They're all building Temple of Artemis for some unknown reason. For some who knows reason why. They all seem to want that. And yeah, so we're just kind of still in the expansion phase. If we zoom all the way out and see, so there's still quite a bit of land here in the middle of the map, this jungle belt. This Barb City is definitely hurting Monty because it's slowing his expansion in that direction. And then there's the Barb City here as well. So like this is like unclaimed, this here in the middle, and then this territory here. So the leader should still be in expansion mode for a little while longer. This is definitely a larger map than some of the ones we've had for the AI Survivor games. I picked low sea level because we had the 7 AIs as opposed to 6. But even with that said, it seems to be a slightly bigger map. This fishing village is not bad from Monty. And then he's got this city, which is not bad either. Biggest issue is just he doesn't have like any of his resources connected yet. So he's kind of struggling in that way. Did Monty finish bronze working? I don't think he did. I think the reason why he hasn't connected it, yeah, he doesn't even have mining. Like, forget bronze working. He doesn't even have mining tech yet. And meanwhile, he's off researching masonry. So he literally can't have metals any closer to his capital than this, short of being underneath the starting tile. But he's just, yeah, he's also struggling with research. Let's look at their research rates real quickly. Wynakopek 18, Julius Caesar 15, Justinian 15, Stalin 8. Okay, that's not great. Mansa 10, Gandhi 16, and Monty 5. Ooh, well, not looking great for the Aztec leader. It's almost like he's not in the same caliber of these other leaders in the game. So, as predicted, Stalin picked up Justinian's religion. That was the most likely religion to spread to him down that river network. And Stalin got a nice little star-shaped empire here. Which city picked up the religion here? Rostov over here. Random that city's the one that got it and not, like, St. Petersburg here. Monty might actually be a worse leader than Sitting Bull. Hard to say. Monty is more likely to pick up a kill, which we score a point for. If the goal is actually winning a game... no, I think Monty's more likely to win a game than Sitting Bull. Neither one is very likely, but I could see a scenario where Monty, like, kills someone and then snowballs off it. I really have trouble seeing Sitting Bull win a game at all. I'm sure it can happen. I'm just, like, I think it is more likely that Monty would win a game, personally. So, anyway, but they're both pretty bad. Like, the lesson is they're both pretty bad leaders. Alright, Justinian finished the Oracle. Let's see what he grabbed with it. He grabbed Monarchy, which is that's a smart choice. Now he'll be able to get into Hereditary Rule, get extra happiness for his cities. He doesn't appear to have any wine tiles. Oftentimes the AIs have wine tiles, or have wine resources, if they're going to go for that tech. And now Stalin has crammed in this city here. It's a little hard to see because the Byzantine borders are like a dull gray, but these tiles are all Byzantine, so this city does not control its own first ring. That should lead to some tension. If you're curious about how leaders feel about one another, Stalin is the worst enemy of Mansa and Gandhi, but Mansa is the worst enemy of Wynakopek, Julius Caesar, Justinian, Stalin, and Montezuma. That's not good news for him. I'm surprised they're all focused on Mansa and not Gandhi. I wonder if his peace weight is just randomly higher than Gandhi's in this game. There is some randomness to the peace weight. It can fluctuate from the base value by 1 or 2 points. And I wonder if that's the reason why. I wonder if he's just randomly rolled like a peace weight of 10 and Gandhi's rolled 9 or something. But he's a marked man, to say the least. That said, he's in a strong position. He does need to get the iron connected. Oh no, he has copper. Never mind. He's fine. He has a copper resource connected. And does he have access to horses at all? Where's the closest horses for him? Oh, never mind. He has horses too. He just hasn't connected them yet. So yeah, he's got copper and horses, so he should be fine. He's also going to get a great profit randomly in a couple turns. Well, so far, I don't think anyone has too much border tension. Like, this is one of the first places we've seen border tension pop up. There is some border tension between Mansa and, not Mansa, between Huayna Capac and Montezuma, but for the most part, there's not too much border tension just yet amongst these leaders. We've also got some barb cities popping up too. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 barb cities. So who picks up the barb cities also pretty important as always. Stalin settled a new castle. That's a reference to, I think, one of Victoria's cities from one of the early round games. Yeah, Gandhi still has no religion yet. It's kind of funny. I wouldn't be shocked if he tries to go for like the Code of Laws religion, because he just wants a religion really badly. Here's another Huayna Capac city. He's just slowly pushing to the west, another nice spot. He still has this, still has room for like another fishing village, but that gets him out to 6. So let's say he's at 6, Monty's at 5, and a crashed economy. We do have a new city from Gandhi as well to get him to 5. I wouldn't say this is a very good city. I guess post-calendar it's pretty good, but definitely needs calendar in order to connect the bananas and the sugar tiles. Can peace weight be reduced? I know that it can fluctuate by a couple of points. I thought it was up or down. Is it only up on the peace weight? I don't know exactly how that works. I just know that it fluctuates by a couple of points. Caesar's also moving to take over this little corner. Excuse me, this city kind of needs to borrow the pigs, but the AI isn't smart enough to do that, so it probably won't. Also, Caesar badly needs to get something to pop his borders. He's still skipping out on mysticism. Like, either get writing or... Oh, but he is on ironworking, so he's got that going for him. Wants to get that, then he can get those Praetorians going. But he definitely does need to be able to pop borders. Looks like he's going to pop the borders of this city with Moai statues, which is kind of hilarious. But it is one way to get that done. I suppose that's one way to pop borders. More likely it's the religion that's making Mansa so hated. I guess so, but most of the leaders don't have religion. Monty doesn't have religion. Julius Caesar doesn't have religion. So I'm guessing it's something peace weight related, but... And here's Gandhi now going for his own religion. Mansa has already built his shrine. So I don't know if Mansa's going to be able to survive this game diplomatically, but geez, is he a strong AI if he just gets left alone. Oh, excuse me. Stretching here. He is such a strong leader if he doesn't get roughed up. Like, economically, the dude is just amazing what he's able to do. And we're really seeing that on display. He's also managed to get down here, grab his iron. He just has to road to it. Although I don't know if he's researched ironworking, but... and he's also got another happiness resource. That's one of the other things he's lacking is happiness, because he doesn't have any luxuries connected. But the furs will get him 1, and he's researching monarchy to pick up another one here in the form of these wines. So yeah, he's just really, really good at the economic side of the game. Well, everyone in the West has been picking up Buddhism. Justinian is doing what he wants to do, which is have his religion spread to his neighbors. Also, Justinian is not expanding very well. He's still on 4 cities. I wonder if he's plotting a war with someone. No, apparently not. Because sometimes the AI does that, right? Like, when they're plotting war, they stop expanding. You know who hasn't stopped expanding is Julius Caesar. How many cities does he have now? One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 cities? They're not necessarily the highest quality cities, but he is founding them, and that counts for a lot. His economy is not exactly in great shape, but he's hanging in there. All right, well, he is down to 13 beakers per turn, which is not ideal. So what was the fix to view city visibility? I'm still not sure why I couldn't see inside the cities in Season 3. I really don't know why. I've always been able to do so in every other year, so I don't know if there was something weird going on that season or what. But I couldn't open up the cities that season. I still haven't figured out why that was. I'm just glad that it hasn't been the case since then. All right, first request for open borders. Can't wait to see Gandhi found his own religion here. He'll be like, yay, now I get to found my own religion, and he will definitely convert to it because he has no other religion. Then maybe everyone will hate Gandhi. Also, this is a nice little stack here. Double settlers. 4 archers and 5 archers and double settlers. Caesar out to 8. Oh yeah, now he's out to 8 cities. Well, he is doing his best to crash that economy. Although he hasn't, the floodplains are helping Caesar in the sense that he's actually not destroying his economy because he's working all these cottages. So that's helpful for him. And he's about to get his iron connected, which is going to give him his superpowered unit. Then he just needs to expand borders in some fashion. All right, so Stalin's got 1 settler here. And where's his other settler? Because he just had 2 of them. Oh, here it is. Okay. So 1 settler here, 1 settler here on both of those 2 tiles. I don't see a lot of space for these, but maybe he can cram them in somewhere. Wait, what happened to the other one? Oh, he moved it back. Yeah, I don't know if his economy can support too many more of these jungle cities. I think he's going to found right on this tile here. Create a real cluster. Oh, never mind. Now he turned around and moved back. What is he doing? Well, there goes Gandhi founding his religion. Since it's one of the later religions, he even gets a free missionary. He'll convert anyway, but it'll be even easier for him to spread his religion with 2 starting cities that will have it. All right, so Gandhi's now in Confucianism. End caste system. So let's pop back and look at the relations screen again. All right, so who is well liked? Huayna Capac does not like the 2 low peace weight leaders, or high peace weight leaders, excuse me. Caesar, same thing. Caesar's pleased with everybody else. Justinian likes his religious counterparts. He also likes Huayna Capac for some reason. That's kind of random. But these 2 are sharing his religion. And he also likes Monty for some reason, but he doesn't like the high peace weight leaders, who also are following different religions. Stalin likes Caesar, likes Monty, doesn't like anyone else. Mansa doesn't really like anyone very much, because even Gandhi, he has the minus for different religions. Yeah, he is the target. He's hated enemy of 5 different people. Gandhi doesn't really like people either. And Monty kind of likes Caesar and Stalin, I guess for peace weight reasons. Doesn't like the others very much. Monty's here for fun. Monty is not an all-star. Monty is, let's toss a bowling ball into this carefully constructed diorama and just see what breaks. That's why. He is definitely not in the same caliber of these other leaders, which is, you can just visibly see. It's like, look at his lands. Everyone else is like advanced, and what's he doing? He's researching fishing. He still hasn't connected his copper or his rice tiles, so that means he must lack agriculture as well. No, he has agriculture, he just hasn't connected that. But he still has no mining or bronze working, so I don't know what the heck this guy's doing. Nor does he have any roads in his territory. I mean, look at Montezuma. He's got like this well-developed civilization. He's got all his resources connected. He's got these, thriving cottage industries down on the floodplains, bustling local centers of industry. And then you look at Monty, and it's like this total wilderness packed with jungle. It's like wild animals running around, messing with people. So yeah, no wheel, no mining. It's like, what is this guy doing? So if you ever wanted like very clear-cut proof that some AIs are just way better than others, there's some of it right there. Yeah, Monty lives in harmony with nature. Caesar managed to slip over here and toss down yet another city, and apparently the world's collection of warriors are hanging out here. there's there's a dozen warriors outside this barb city, which wow, that's a lot of archers. One, two, three, four, five, six. There's 7 barb archers in here. I guess this was the original barb city. Popular tile, yeah. This barb city is so it, like the reason why there's so many of these units here is the AIs. They know that the odds are too bad. Like they won't attack with a warrior against an archer because they know that the odds are they're going to lose. I think they have like 5% odds or something like that. So they won't do that, but they will just sit there waiting for an opportunity. So that's why you see these big stacks. It shouldn't be too much longer until we see some of these barb cities starting to fall. Generally, axes have a shot to take them, but swords is when they really start to fall because swords get very good odds against archers. It's the innate city attack plus the 6 strength against 3 strength. Stalin also has a ton of units hanging out around this barb city, but he doesn't seem to know what to do about it. Now, remember how Julius Caesar was like very low in the score ranking? Oh, that's a nice wonder for Wina. He's managed to get the Great Lighthouse. Not that he has a lot of coastal cities, but has 2 of them. Mansa must have built the pyramids because he went into representation. So Mansa going to get those bonus beakers. Yeah, there's the pyramids in here. Going to get those bonus beakers from his specialist. I was saying Julius Caesar was low in score throughout the early game, and that's because he literally has not expanded borders in any of his cities, so he's not getting that many land points. But because he's founded so many cities, his score is going to be slowly creeping up on the leaderboard. He's also finished ironworking, so watch, he's going to connect this iron resource next. There's the worker over here to connect it, and then we'll have the Praetorians. Alright, so we see our first barb city fall, and Wina Capex picked up Mansa's religion. Alliance between the 2 financial civs, maybe? How do they feel about each other now? So that pulls them up to cautious, or Mansa is now cautious with him. And yeah, pulls them both up to cautious, but they will get a larger brothers and sisters of the faith bonus the longer that shared relationship lasts. Mansa was also going for this city, apparently. And it's on the other side of Aztec territory. So, Wina Capac's looking strong, Mansa's looking strong, Justinian's in a good position, and I think that Julius Caesar's going to be coming on strong too, just because he's founded so many cities, and he's going to have Praetorians in the mix. Stalin not looking so great. Just for whatever reason, he's expanded okay, but he's been hurt by the lack of border pops, just as Julius Caesar's been hurt by the lack of border pops. Monty's a disaster. Yeah, Monty's just a disaster. Holy Rome, or not Holy Rome, the Byzantines have claimed quite a bit of territory. Oh, this city is now the Byzantines have expanded onto this tile, because this city hit 500 culture. So now Yakutsk can't even control any of its tiles. Justinian really needs to get iron working because he has so much jungle. I don't know if he has researched that yet. No, he needs to get that because he needs to start chopping down the jungle. He's got these gems, which will be really nice tiles. Although I guess no city can reach them right now. Maybe he'll get lucky and Yakutsk will flip, and then he'll be able to work those tiles. Because Yakutsk, if it ever could work the gems, would actually be a pretty good city. It would need some food, but I guess it's got this rice tile here. So, if this jungle could ever be removed, it would be a decent city. Just not at the moment. So this city popped borders with Moai statues and is now a good city. Although it's not working the pigs for some reason. Well, Caesar needs happiness. That's his mistake. He has only the furs for happiness. That's his biggest issue. He needs to get to hereditary. He needs to get to calendar or hereditary rule or monarchy. He is building Praetorians right now. I don't suppose he's plotting war. Nope. See, the issue for him is the only leader he borders at the moment is Justinian, and he likes Justinian. They're on pretty good terms. Yeah, +3. Now, Caesar will plot war at Pleased, but he doesn't have a good target to go after. If he took this city, then he could maybe go after Gandhi. This would certainly be a good target for the Praetorians to go after. They would cut through that pretty easily. Got this one random Incan city over here. So, Any of our leaders plotting war? I wouldn't expect Mansa to, because he's pretty peaceful. How about Justinian? Doesn't look like it. Peaceful early game, but that's because there's been a lot of room to expand into. Nope, not Huayna Capac. We just checked Caesar. Gandhi is like the most peaceful leader in the game, so don't expect to see him plotting. So yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's plotting an early war, except maybe Monty. Nope. So yep, everyone's still finishing up, but now that the map is mostly settled, we should expect some of the leaders to be more willing to go to war. Mansa still is holding to the score lead. Like, he was able to grab this city recently, and he just controls a lot of territory here in like the south-central portion of the map. It's a little bit bigger than some of the other maps. The AIs mostly seem to have room for about 7 or 8 cities before they run out of space. It's partly also because we have 7 AIs instead of 6. The recent playoff games have all been with 6. So it is bigger in that regard. It's definitely bigger than the last week we had a very small map for playoff game 3. That was one of the smaller ones that we've run. Could you give the Aztecs a tech or two because they're doing sacrifices in your honor? Nope. Monty's got to make it on his own. No free techs for him. So Monty has also picked up the Eastern religion. So most of the game is, this is kind of looking bad for Gandhi in this regard. So Hinduism is being practiced by the Eastern leaders. Buddhism's being practiced by the Western leaders, and Buddhism in particular has been spread a lot. And then there's old Gandhi with Confucianism, the only one practicing this religion. Starting to rack up a lot of negative signs with a lot of these leaders. -2 with pleased at -2 with Mansa. That's pretty funny because of the shared peace weight. Monty has tile improvements. Does he find? Oh my God, he finally has tile improvements. He still hasn't connected his copper yet, but we have roads. The Aztecs are only like 5 centuries behind everyone else in the world. Caesar's still founding more cities. This is a pretty good fishing village because it literally has fish, which is not always the case. Although apparently the animation got stuck for this fish. Sometimes this happens, and the animate like it's supposed to be fish jumping and like playing in the water, but sometimes the animation gets stuck. This guy's having a rough day. Yeah, I know the feeling, buddy. Anyway. Leapt out of midair and suddenly gravity stopped working. Anyway. So yeah. Caesar has managed to get quite a few cities, even if he doesn't have that many actual tiles. But the Praetorians are on their way. I'll just preempt Link Mario Samus by zooming in. Praetorian actually looks pretty good. For some reason, the face looks a little less creepy on this guy than it does on some of the other units. But I always liked the way this unit looked. I remember playing this game in pre-release testing as Rome, and for whatever reason, there was a visual bug, and the Praetorians had bright pink outfits. It was hilarious. I actually showed that too. Since I brought this up, I'll show you guys that picture real quick. One sec. It's in my Civ4 pre-release photos. And I gotta put it on screen. Hold on. Hold on. There you go. So this was from early pre-release testing. I don't know why this visual bug existed, but yeah, they had pink colors. Also, there was a time when the units were going to have 5 individuals instead of the 3, and then that got cut back. So that's why there's more than 3 Praetorians. That was another decision made. Anyway, just so you can see what that looks like. But yeah, some fun stuff in pre-release testing. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, but I've always thought the Praetorians look pretty good. Very, very stylish in that bright pink armor. So now that Praetorians are going after this city, we should see some of the archers start to die. It's just that with so many units of various nationalities here, it really is anybody's guess who's going to grab this. Like 8 strength against 3 strength, the Praetorians are going to be able to start killing the defenders. So like that guy just attacked and killed one of the archers with no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but there's still 6 archers left, so if it gets down to like 1 archer, we might see the various nations just start throwing themselves at this city. It's pretty important as far as whether Julius Caesar's the one to get this, as Mansa now builds another shrine, and Gandhi builds a statue of Zeus. So we'll get back to the barbs in a second. So there are shrines for both of Mansa's religions right now. Oh my god, this dude, seriously. He's gonna be making so much money. Anyway, so this is important because if Julius Caesar captures this, he has a window to go attack Gandhi. Because like now, then he would be bordering Gandhi, and he would have someone to attack. If he doesn't get this city, then his only target's Justinian, and he's much less likely, not impossible, but less likely to attack Justinian. Moneybags Mansa, indeed. So now there's 5 archers left. One of them will die to a Praetorian this turn. First request to cancel deals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still 4. Alright, still 5 of them left. I guess the city just finished building another archer. This Praetorian apparently won flawlessly because it's at full health. And now Mansa's got 1 axe over here. So now down to 3 archers. And there's 2 Praetorians and a chariot. Julius Caesar does have some archers who could attack. I think Julius Caesar gets this, but we'll see. Weird stuff can happen. Alright, so he does get that. And as said, that will now open up a window towards Gandhi. There's another barb city over here, and I think there's one more. Yeah, there's this one, Cimmerian, right in the center of the map, which Stalin has a gazillion archers outside of, but he doesn't have actual units to attack with. Stalin is apparently got kind of squeezed. It's not great for him that Mansa grabbed this spot, because I think this was supposed to be Stalin's source of horses. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have a source of horses. Or a source of metals. What the? Oh no. Oh no. Stalin doesn't have any metals. He wasn't able to control the iron 3 tiles away from his capital. Uh-oh. Womp womp. That's not good. He has iron on the right, someone said. Ah, okay, he's got it here. Okay, alright, he'll be alright. He's got it right here at Novgorod. Somehow he has this one, even though he couldn't get the one 3 tiles away. Alright, so he doesn't have it connected, but he will have a source of metals. Does not look like he'll have a source of horses, though. And Stalin's looking fairly weak. Him and Monty are the definite runts of this game. The other leaders all look much better in terms of strength. Alright. So now he's going to come down here and capture the remaining barb cities. But it's turn 100, so let's look at our bar graphs, and then we'll see how quickly people are researching. Line graph. I guess it's technically line graphs, but you'll have to forgive me. I've been saying bar graphs for 15 years now. Alright, GMP. Mansa's first. This is not a surprise. Wynekopek is running close with him. Justinian's close as well, although I think a lot of this is just culture for him. Could be wrong. Caesar, Stalin. Wow, Monty really sucks at this, doesn't he? Because this line down here is 0, and he's been like at or below 0 for a lot of the game. Alright, so Justinian does have a lot of culture, but it looks like he has some actual research as well. Production's pretty close. It looks like the top ones are Wynekopek, Mansa, Julius Caesar. Food. Caesar's food is pretty low for all those cities. Probably because he has so many food bonuses in his second ring. Wynekopek, Justinian, and Mansa. It looks like these 3 are the top AIs. They've kind of been top in most of the categories, except power, where the Praetorians are leading the way. Monty is not doing very well in that category either. Rome got Numidian, it looks like. Where's Numidian? Oh yeah, well we were watching that earlier. If Wyna had that level of production last week. Well, he's got quite a nice territory here. Although it looks like he's run out of territory. Oh, he crammed in another city right here. Okay. But he looks like he's pretty much... I guess there's room for one more filler city right there. But he's pretty much out of space at this point. Meanwhile, Gandhi's also expanded up to the north. Gandhi seems to have a lot of resources. He's got gold and silver, along with ivory and wines. So, and he's about to connect furs too. So Gandhi has a lot of resources and a lot of territory. And Mansa certainly did very well for himself too. He's got room for one more filler city like down here if he wants it. Stalin got squeezed. Justinian, I wasn't really focusing on his expansion as much, but he was pushing to the west and he's grabbed some more coastal cities here. How many does Justinian have in total? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cities, that's pretty good. Now, Julius Caesar has 1, 2, not with the Barb City, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So again, this is part of the reason why I think his potential, like he's not there yet because a lot of these cities are small in size, but like and he also has only just now like started popping borders, not even with mysticism, with writing, with libraries, but like there's definitely potential just because he has so many cities. His biggest issue is a lack of happiness. Although now apparently he's got made his way to calendar, so he should be able to grow his cities quite a bit now that he's gotten there. And he definitely has wines too. So I think Caesar is still in a decent position just because he can keep growing his cities a lot more. All right, so that's kind of our overview. Oh, and I wanted to see how quickly people are researching too. Wine Kopek 78, Caesar 55, Justinian 94. Okay, Justinian's economy is looking pretty sharp. 94 beakers per turn. Stalin 34. That's not good. Mansa 97. Monty oh my 13. Ugh. Okay, so Monty's starting position was definitely not the best. It was arguably the weakest starting position on the map, but this is still really sad from him. 13 beakers per turn. He still doesn't have bronze working 102 turns into the game. Now, who's best positioned to capitalize on Monty being weak? Probably Huayna Capac. Like, if Huayna Capac picks up, like, if he were to get to construction and just run over... Oh, India got this. Interesting. Random Indian axeman. But, like, if Huayna Capac were to get to construction and, like, go in there with catapults and elephants... I don't know if he has ivory or not. No, he doesn't have ivory. So no elephants. But if he went in there with, like, more advanced units... You would think that he could snowball off Monty's territory and start running away with the game. Still, thus far, we still have not had a war declaration, although I do think we'll start seeing one soon, just because now the map's pretty much full. And there's only 3 archers left here. So Justinian finished the Hanging Gardens. As a result, he's now the score leader. So I'm just watching to see who's going to grab this Barb City. Gandhi and Mansa city counts. Let's see real quick. So Gandhi has, with that Barb City, oh, and apparently he just founded Christianity in that city too. Okay. That could be a weird spread to other civs. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 for Gandhi, and Mansa should have about the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 for Mansa. Okay. Check for war preparations. All right. Not from Mansa, no surprise there. Not from Justinian. All right, well, he is looking to go to war. So probably, oh wow, here's an unprotected great merchant. Unlike in Civ 6, where great people are immortal and cannot be killed, great people can absolutely be killed in Civ 4. That's a dangerous place to be walking around a great merchant with no protection. So Huayna Capac is plotting war at the moment. So we will get to see our first war soon. He is most likely targeting Gandhi, although it could be also lesser chance for Montezuma, because they do have some border tension. Gandhi, I would be shocked if he's plotting a war. Caesar is definitely not plotting a war. Stalin, nope. Monty is not going to plot a war until he at least has copper connected. All right, so we'll watch over here, because this is probably where the next war will break out. There goes the great merchant. We'll see if he gets used in this city or if he runs further along. All right, looks like the great merchant was used by Gandhi because he just now suddenly has 1,500 gold. Huayna Capac gets the mausoleum though, one of the game's more useful wonders. And this Barb City is still hanging out, the last refuge of the barbarians over here. Test switching Mansa and Monty's starting positions, see if one falters and the other succeeds. I think that Mansa would definitely have done a much better job with this starting position, just because he's a much better AI. Oh, there we go. Finally connected that copper. So a lot of swords being built by Wynakopek over here. But he has not quite gathered them together into like a stack. Wynakopek needs construction though. He won't do much of anything against Gandhi if he can't take down the walls. So he really needs to get construction tech for catapults, or else he's not going to be very effective. That's assuming he's going after Gandhi. So here now he's putting this stack together. And he is researching construction. It might not be in time though. Also, well, a city like this is not very well protected. 2 archers. Let's see where these units are going. So Stalin is the one to take this Barb city. It's going to be like a little enclave off there by itself. Also, Caesar, has he changed his mind yet? No, still not plotting war yet. This poor city needs to pop its borders. And then it'll finally be able to do something. There it goes. Now he needs to get a workboat up there. AI usually won't build a workboat until the resource is in the city borders. Number of people researching construction though. Mansa looks like he just finished feudalism. There's the longbows, and Gandhi builds a great library. So Gandhi has a fair number of wonders for other people to capture if he gets stuck in a war. Incan swordsman we had a request for, so kind of in shadow, but hopefully you can still see them to a decent extent. They've got like a lizard headdress or something, which is kind of cool, and like bare chests with their ribbed abs. So yeah, I think we're going to start seeing the first wars here. The turn 115 is awfully late to not have a single war declaration. But there's our start. And Wynakopek did get the double coastal wonders again. He has both Great Lighthouse and Colossus. So he really should found his fishing village up there, since he's got the double nautical wonders. This is not going anywhere on its own. But once he gets catapults, he might have a better shot. Let's look at the power bar graphs. So he is number 1 in power, but Gandhi's not that far behind. Monty is also increasing in power now that he actually has a bronze working resource. All right, well that's a pretty decent stack. That's probably enough to shove over Pataliputra if they all combine together. Like even with the 40% defenses, that's probably enough. All right, but if they wander around doing nothing, then that will give the defenders time to... Because like Gandhi will start building units once he's attacked. His big weakness is he doesn't build units when he's out of wars. So we just looked at Julius Caesar. He's not plotting war at the moment. Oh yeah, we did want to keep track of the war counters. That was one of the things we're going to do. Where's the text? Here we go. Okay. Thanks for the reminder. Wynakopek has not exactly walked towards a city with this stack, although maybe that gives him time to build some catapults. He will have infinitely more success if he uses catapults in this, although he's not doing it at the moment. I don't see any cats in production. AI doesn't always seem to realize how important that unit is. Gandhi certainly has catapults. Once again, if we're looking at the relations, so Justinian does not plot at please, so the only ones he could attack would be Mansa and Gandhi. Julius Caesar is most likely to go after one of them. Gandhi would probably be the most likely target because he doesn't border Mansa. And amongst our other leaders, just see if someone else, like is Stalin thinking about war? Nope. How about Monty? Doesn't seem like it. We have nothing to gain. So yeah, for the moment, this is our one war. So Pataliputra didn't have many defenders when the war started, but because Wynakopek's just been wandering around, not doing anything, this city is not as well defended. A couple chariots, and like the spear is not going to be that useful. Only 20% defenses and not on a hill, so Varanasi looks like a pretty capturable target. for this stack, even though there's no catapults, but 20% defenses are not a lot. I don't know why Gandhi didn't bother to build walls here. Although it looks like it held that turn. A lot of injured units, but it did hold. So it doesn't look like that's going to get captured. Note that the axes are the ones mostly still standing, because so many of those, oh, well, here comes the rest of the stack. If Wina had just attacked with both of these stacks combined, he would have been fine. But he attacked with like half of his units. Still some injured units there. We'll see. Might depend on the dice rolls. There are some City Raider swords. Alright, well, he killed some of the defenders, but now Gandhi had time to reinforce. So this is what often happens, is the defenders just get time to reinforce, because the AI is so slow. Another religion being founded off there. So yeah, Mansa, or not Mansa, jeez, I keep saying his name. Oh, and that's not good for Wina Kopek. Monty declaring war on him. Looks like he was pulled into the war by Gandhi, because I don't see any big Aztec stacks charging across the border. The smart thing for Wina Kopek to do right now would be to peace out with Gandhi and just go kill Montezuma. But we'll see if he does that. So now we're starting to shake things up a little bit in this game. Monty surprise victory. Monty can't even seem to keep his cities happy. He has 0 happiness resources right now. But he does at least have units. Or he does at least have copper units. Alright, yeah, so that attack against Gandhi basically failed, which is, again, not a surprise, because Wina Kopek spent so many turns wandering around. If he had just, like, taken his stack, walked across the border, and attacked Calcutta, he would have taken the city, but he did not spend a lot of time doing that. Also, the catapult just running around unprotected, just kind of asking to get cleaned up and killed by a unit, which is exactly what happened. AI is not always the best at that. Since Gandhi is very eager to sign peace treaties, I would expect that we would see a peace treaty here soonish. Like, Gandhi always wants to get out of wars. Okay, seriously, a lot of requests here. Gandhi probably still refuses to talk. Could be. Since we haven't checked in with Caesar for a little bit. He's still apparently not plotting. Remember how we had that one game of AI Survivor where Caesar was super dominant, but just like was pacifist Caesar and never fought anyone? I hope we don't get that personality in this game. Meanwhile, by the way, Mansa Musa is still just doing his thing, because no one's come after him yet. Like, Mansa's like, fine, I'll just sit here and attack you guys. Because he's already on guilds and continues to build units. Now Gandhi's got a little stack, but against city walls, I don't see that doing very much. I guess Gandhi does have catapults, though. Wina Kopek did build Chichen Itza earlier, so he's got the extra defensive bonuses. Caesar's closest rival is the same piece weight. Well, the thing is, if Caesar were to attack someone, he does have Gandhi on his border. That's who I'm expecting him to attack if he attacks someone. Here comes Monty, who does not have construction. He's not even close to having construction. At least we have a war to entertain us, though. Because we were having a very peaceful game for a while there. Gandhi's got some elephants roaming around up here. Aztecs are basically backwards barbarians. Yeah, it is striking just how weak Montezuma is in comparison to everyone else. Alright, so Stalin is plotting war. I saw him marching a stack of units up here, so I was wondering, well, it's possible he's just going to this city, which apparently has like 18 archers in it. But let's see who he dislikes. Again, the most likely targets are Mansa and Gandhi, but Stalin can plot where it pleased, so theoretically anyone can be a target. Like, from the way he's moving these units, I'm thinking maybe he wants to go after Julius Caesar, although that just feels like such a weird decision from him. What is this? All right, so to absolutely no surprise, Huayna Capac signs peace with Gandhi, and now Montezuma's in a lot of trouble. Montezuma's in all kinds of trouble because now he's in a war that he didn't really want to fight with a much stronger neighbor. So this is a great chance for Huayna Capac to make his move and start taking territory. He just needs to use his catapults, take down the defenses of these cities. They're sitting ducks once he removes the defenses with his catapults. Because Huayna Capac is obviously a lot stronger. Also remember how I kept saying, don't sleep on Julius Caesar. His score is going to keep rising. Well, now look who's in second place in score. It's just because he has a lot more territory than these other AIs. So given enough time, he was going to grow his cities. I still don't know what this is all about. He has a Praetorian, two Praetorians, a horse archer, and a catapult in these galleys. I have no idea where they're going or what the purpose of those units is. So Stalin's going to go to war with someone, but we still don't really know who that is yet. And Mansa's just like flying out in front of the rest of the game. Mansa picking up free religion could help him diplomatically. Now Gandhi is more of the worst enemy. He's only the worst enemy of Stalin now. Gandhi has become worst enemy of most of the low peace weight AIs. So Mansa's still just flying under the radar. Up. So signed peace treaty, but Huayna Capac picked up a city. Now this city, Calix, is completely isolated. Probably would have been better to just keep fighting that. But now Huayna Capac will have a big malice because Monty declared war on him. Where's Montezuma? Well, he's still pleased, apparently. +5 from Brothers and Sisters of the Faith. Anyway, so let's just keep an eye on Stalin. His most likely target, I guess, is Mansa Musa. I don't think that would go too well for Stalin if he tries that war. But I think that's his most likely target. Unless he's attacking someone at pleased. And Huayna Capac true to Golden Age. Remember, he has the Mausoleum, so he'll get the extended Golden Age. That's pretty nice. Julius Caesar's trying to train his Praetorians to become early Marines. I don't know what he was doing with that. That's really weird. The AI rarely loads up units like that. And now Mansa's built Sistine, so that's going to... If he goes for the cultural victory, that's going to help him a lot. Just because the AI always runs so many specialists. But like Mansa was the first to have knights by a pretty wide margin. If he ever... Now, Mansa is another one of those leaders who does not prioritize rifling tech, but if he did, he could probably get there well before anyone else in this game. Like, this could just be a Mansa runs away with the game scenario if no one does anything to stop him. And now he's triggering a Golden Age too. Mansa's like, alright, fine. You want Golden Ages? I'll show you Golden Ages. Also, these leaders are really close. Like, Justinian, Gandhi, Huayna Capac, and Julius Caesar are all within 50 points, and they keep jumping around on the scoreboard. I don't see any cities that are immediately likely to culture flip. Not from what I can see. So Stalin, we're awaiting your next move, since you are apparently plotting war. So, not a lot of warring thus far in this game. Just the, just like that one conflict that then spilled over into Montezuma as well. But some of these leaders are teching way, way, way faster. Oh yeah, the Moneybag Coast. There you go. There's your Moai in a Golden Age that we're contractually obligated to show. There's more of the Moneybags. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 Moneybag coastal tiles, plus the Moneybag from these silk resources. That's a lot of commerce for just some random city. 55 commerce per turn base. That's a lot for this stage of the game. So Mansa and Huayna are both in Golden Ages right now. Huayna Capac's at 270, and Mansa's at 396. Woo! Mansa's just blowing everybody away. Like, look at these other leaders. Justinian is also... Justinian's been a really good researcher in this game. Do we want to see Montezuma? 33. 33 beakers per turn. Mansa's at 396. Mansa is in a Golden Age. But, I mean, this guy is just... I mean, like, look at his capital. This is unreal. His capital is 67 beakers, or 67 commerce, He's got a gazillion wonders in here. National epic about to finish. So yeah, Monty didn't declare war because he was very slow to get his medals connected. But some of these other leaders, it's a bit surprising that they didn't start earlier. All right, Stalin going after Manta. I think this is a mistake, unless he can get some allies to join him. Stalin is slightly ahead in power, but he is definitely behind technologically. Let's look at what units they each have in this struggle. So Stalin does not have horseback riding. He does not have engineering, so no pikes. He does have longbows, but no crossbows, no maces, no knights, no horse. He's about to get horse archers. Okay, how about Manta? All right, well, Manta has all of those techs. He does not have pikes, but he does have maces. He does have longbows. He does have crossbows. He does have knights. Does not have gunpowder yet. So Gandhi is, or not Gandhi, Montezuma is kind of ahead by a lot in technology. So even though Stalin's ahead in power, I don't know how well this goes because his units are individually weaker. Stalin kind of needs someone else to join him in a war against Mansa, or else Mansa's likely to counterattack and start absorbing his territory. It also doesn't help that Mansa's culture is super dominant all along the border. Like, he kind of controls the battlefield everywhere. So yeah, I don't know what happened there, but the initial Russian stack didn't seem to do anything. Vladivostok looks very vulnerable to an attack. Worst enemy of Huayna Julius Caesar, and Justinian. Like, a stack of knights feels like it could run over this city with ease. Oh, and we have a war declaration. I didn't update that, did I? We're now at 3. But a pretty peaceful game overall. Does Russia have elephants? Good question. We should see. No ivory, so no elephants. Lots of resources for Russia, but no ivory. A random Praetorian over there. I was like, is this a stack? But no. Just want to check in on Caesar. Boy, we're getting pacifist Caesar again in this game. Just kind of sitting back, not doing anything. That's not a recipe for success with... They do have... There's ivory in the Barb City. Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. He does have ivory. Okay. So yeah, he will be able to build elephants as soon as he finishes researching horseback riding, which I believe he just finished. Okay, so I was apparently wrong. I just didn't see it. Here's city walls being finished just in the nick of time for this attack. So I guess the knights opted to pillage instead. But Julius Caesar being like super peaceful is not actually good for him. He doesn't have good economic traits. He needs to be out fighting. Yeah, these are the only ivory sources he had, although someone might have traded him ivory, because the AI is usually pretty willing to do that. Well, anyway, this is an attempt to slow down Mansa Musa. So far, it doesn't seem to be working. Oh, here comes a Russian stack. All right, now that's a pretty legit stack with 7 catapults. Let's see if this can have some success against Gao. Mansa can sometimes have a bit of like a glass jaw, in the sense that he looks really strong, but when someone attacks him, he just suddenly falls apart. Like, that's 37 units, so that's quite a lot of force here. And Mansa did not pick up... never mind, he did just... I was going to say he did not pick up engineering, but it looks like he just finished it. Alright. Turn 150. Let's check in on how everybody's doing. So Mansa is indeed running away with the game in terms of GNP. And Justinian and Huayna are keeping pretty good pace, but have not caught up. There's the Golden Ages. You can see Huayna's Golden Age is a little bit longer than Mansa Musa's Golden Age, thanks to that mausoleum. Two turns, like 2 turns before Mansa started, and then 2 turns after Mansa's Golden Age finishes. Food's pretty close amongst all these leaders. Even Monty's slowly getting a little more food. And then power. Mansa's been building more units. Note that as soon as Gandhi's war ended, he just stopped building units at all. Justinian liberalism, a couple turns, yeah. You're right, I wasn't paying attention to that, but looks like he's going to grab that prize. Because Mansa did not prioritize liberalism. Justinian's been a really good techer in this game. Alright, there's 48 units here, so I suspect that's going to be enough to take this city, I think. 48 units is an awful lot. Is this city on a hill? No, not on a hill. Defenses are down. If the siege units go in first, even being a little bit behind in tech should be enough to take this, because those catapults and trebuchets are going to be useless on defense. This city should fall, and it should be a pretty big loss for Mansa. Oh, not on that turn. Oh boy, well, I'm wrong. That attack did not succeed. In fact, there were 47 units on this tile, and now there's only 12. So it looks like Stalin attacked and just did not succeed at all. Because it looks like his stack got kind of slaughtered. Shark fin indeed. Oh yeah, we should check to see what techie liberal. Yep, shark fin indeed. Mansa lost some units, but Stalin lost a lot more. Stalin's war weariness. 146. It's not that bad thus far, in part because the AI gets big cheats on that. Alright, now for Justinian and his free tech. He chose to take what? What did he take with his free tech? I think he took Divine Right with his free tech. Wow. What a terrible choice. I guess he took Divine Right. Okay. At least take Printing Press. Alright, well, he does have a lot of religious flavors, but what a waste. So, Stalin should have, like, he has, like, one face of war weariness, but he doesn't have too badly right now. Does the Observer Civ tech better than Monty? No. Although the Observer Civ is going to have bronze working in 48 turns, and it took Montezuma 105 turns to get it, so he's barely better in that regard. I'm a little disappointed that Julius Caesar never used his Praetorians in this game. They're just such an overpowered unit, and he never used them. About Wina. Alright, he's apparently not plotting war. How about Wildman? Nope. So it looks like this is just the one war. Got this weirdly peaceful game here. Oh, well, so much for Stalin's force. Did they sign peace, or did he just move it back? I guess they signed... Because it looked like they teleported back here. Alright, yep. Signed peace. And gave away a city for it, too. Ooh, well, that backfired. Now Mansa's like, stop it, you're making him stronger. Julius Caesar loved his brother Justinian, maybe. But he did have a target to go after here in Gandhi, so I'm a little surprised he's never tried to attack Gandhi. It's a different religion, big piece weight difference. Oh well. And Justinian's been very peaceful too. It's like Julius Caesar and Justinian have been super economic focused in this game. Oh, is aggressive AI? Maybe aggressive AI is not on. That might be the reason why. Did I forget to turn on it? Oh my god, I never turned on aggressive AI. That's the reason why there's no aggressive AI turned on in this game. That's why it's been so peaceful. No wonder the game's been so peaceful. We haven't had aggressive AI turned on. Huh. That explains it. I was like, wow, these AIs just don't really seem to want to fight in this game. No aggressive AI turned on. Well, this is a great, it's a great kind of little test study in terms of why it's been so peaceful. You can turn it on right now. All right, well, we had this come up before. So how do we do this in World Builder then? Because people are saying that you can do this, but I was unaware of how you do this. I'll wait for chat to catch up to it, because I am unaware of how you do this with any of the options in the World Builder. I would scroll down that menu to game data. I don't even know where that is. Where is their game data in this menu? No, I don't need a lion. I don't know where there's game data in this on this setup. People have said that there's a way to do it, but I have no idea where that is. None of these are game data. See, in that menu is unfortunately not specific enough. So there is World Builder, which is this, and there's also debug mode. I am also in debug mode. See, I'm in debug mode right now, but there's a different... I have never seen a way to change that after the game has started. People are saying you can, but I have never found a way to change the game options once you're actually in the game itself. I'm not restarting the whole game. We're already 2 hours into this game. I'm not restarting the whole thing from the beginning. You guys may have unlimited time, but I have other stuff I have to do today. Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure you can't do that. I am pretty familiar with the world builder, and I'm pretty convinced you can't change that. I'm willing to listen if there's a way to do that. All right, so this is debug mode. Just to be clear, this is debug mode, not world builder. But we may be able to do something here. I still don't see any of these corresponding to the game options. Yeah, again, maybe there's a way to do this, but I'm unfamiliar with what it is. I'm also hesitant to spend too much time trying to do this. And none of these seem to affect this. Yeah. All right, so on we go. If there's a way to do it, it's one I'm not familiar with. So it is noteworthy that turning off aggressive AI really has changed how much fighting takes place in these games. The wars started much later, and the AIs have just been much more peaceful. The turns are faster. Yeah, I mean, it's a little, but the problem is it's less interesting, obviously. It's the conflicts that make the game interesting. But you can see how turning off aggressive AI really helps a leader like Montezuma. Like, he's clearly a much stronger leader in this scenario where there's less fighting. He's even stronger when there's tech trading turns on, because he trades techs like a monster. Oh well, that's disappointing. I should have realized. The tip-off should have been when Choose Religions wasn't on. That I should have been thinking, wait a minute, I don't know if all the settings are right. But yeah, no aggressive AI. Definitely unfortunate. Still, Gandhi is hated by everyone. It is amusing to see how bad Monty's been in this game, but I'm disappointed we haven't seen a little bit more conflict between some of these leaders. Still, it's clear that it makes a big difference. I just want to check in to see. And looks like we've got a war being plotted right now by Wynakoppak, so we'll get something else to keep an eye on. It does make for a good control group study. So and Julius Caesar's power has been spiking too, so I wonder if he's thinking about finally declaring war on someone. Alright, we have enough on our hands right now. I would suspect that they are both directed at Gandhi. Not certain, but I would guess that that's probably the targets, because they're both annoyed with Gandhi. And we've got religious differences on both sides there. So poor Gandhi might be in some trouble here. And sure enough, there it is. There's Caesar popping over the border with 32 units. So, yeah, Wynakoppak. So let's look at what units these three sides have, just real quick. So Julius Caesar, we saw he had knights. He's researching gunpowder. And then he's got all the medieval units. Wynakoppak, let's see. So he also has knights and all the medieval units. They're actually pretty comparable in terms of units there. And then for Gandhi, Gandhi is researching guilds. And he does not have pikes, which is bad because he's up against knights. Actually, Gandhi's teching is not as great as I thought. Okay, I'm not gonna fool with the video description. I know it says aggressive AI. You guys pointed out a couple times in the chat, but I would probably forget to turn it back on for next week, so I'm just gonna leave it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. All right, enough request spam from the AIs. So this deck should easily be able to take Lahore, which is not very well defended. It only has like 5 defenders anyway. So I suspect it'll be one more turn bombarding defenses, and then this knight stack will take it out without any real trouble. Oh, it actually gave Gandhi time to stuff more catapults in there, which is a mistake because they're all just going to die. And Caesar just went into theocracy, so Gandhi did hop into a golden age, though. Oh yeah, 4 wars, thank you. I'm delayed in doing this. 4 wars. Looks like we'll still have a decent number of wars, but we might be more at like 10. Oh, and Gandhi also just built Taj. Well, that wonder's useless when you capture it, but like there's a lot of wonders here for people to pick up. Statue of Zeus in particular is really important. Parthenon is nice, although it's close to obsoleting. But Parthenon plus Roman forums is like a lot of extra great person points. So yeah, Rome's gonna have to deal with Statue of Zeus, but you know, he's not that far away from where it's located. So let's go one more turn, then we'll see the shark fin. I think Gandhi lost a lot. I don't think Caesar lost much of anything in that battle because he took out all the city defenses. Yeah, see, not huge losses on either side. And meanwhile, we've got Wainakopek getting ready to go in too, presumably against Gandhi. We don't know for sure. He could be declaring on someone else, but presumably against Gandhi. Meanwhile, Mansa's like, I'm just teching away. Don't bother me. Just leave me alone until I get to rifles. Thanks. So, even though I think this is a good move from Julius Caesar, I think he actually could have made this move a lot earlier. Look at this city. It's all catapults and chariots. There's only one unit in this city that gets the 40% defensive bonus. That's the mace. Everything else gets no defensive bonuses at all. So even though this is 40% culture, it's mostly not applying to those units in there. That said, there's not a large enough stack to... Oh, well, never mind. I was like, there's not a large enough stack to do much. Well, and then Caesar killed most of the defenders. There's one brand new longbow in there. One brand new longbow and 4 chariots. The chariots are totally useless, so if he's able to kill that longbow, that city's dead. Although I still don't think he has enough attackers there. The main stack's over here by Agra, which is going to lose its cultural defenses. Yeah, now that... Alright, so Caesar did not attack that city, because the longbow gets too good odds, or the odds are too high. But this city is going to get captured shortly, once those defenses are down. Oh, never mind. I was like, well, there's not enough units to hit that city. What I missed was there was a stack on this tile right here. Caesar had moved into Stalin's territory and grabbed that. I totally missed that. All right, thanks for looking that up, something Magnus. So it's apparently bug mod, which I don't run, that does that. I'm not big. The longtime viewers know I'm not big on mods. Just I'm happy with the base game. So just an assumption that something was in the game when it is actually in a mod instead. So still waiting on Wainakopek to decide on what to do. Caesar might want to defend this city a little bit better, or it's going to get recaptured by Gandhi. Like, I think he's going to take this city, but it might be a city trade here. Well, the city apparently had enough defenders to hold out for the time being. Gandhi was in a golden age while this was going on. Is Wainakopek still plotting, just out of curiosity? He is still plotting. So Caesar's not exactly smashing his way through here. He is winning this war, but you can see he's suffering losses. If Wainakopek joins, I think it did hurt him that Gandhi was in a golden age, because Gandhi was one-turning units out of a lot of his cities. If like the Incans pile in here, which it looks like they're probably going to, that might trigger like a more general collapse for Gandhi. Any day now, Wainakopek. Agra's also on a hill, and longbows are just so much harder to kill on it in a city on a hill. Rifles incoming for Wynakopek? Yeah, wow. So he's definitely ahead of Julius Caesar in terms of research. A lot of pikes in that city, too. Yeah, that attack did not go very well. This force here killed like 2 units and suffered a lot of deaths. So far, Rome has not punched through and gotten that much out of this war yet. They've gotten 2 cities, but they're both culturally crushed. Really need to start taking some more territory. And Wynakopek just finished his rifles. Mansa Musa's headed in that direction, too. I'm surprised we haven't seen Incan, like a big Incan stack ready to go over the border, because Wynakopek is apparently plotting war. We just haven't seen him attack anyone yet. So I guess we just keep the focus over here for right now. How about Justinian? Has he ever plotted war in this game? He's been super peaceful. Again, no doubt, at least in part due to the setup. So Mansa's going for rifling, and that may be something that could seal the game for Mansa. So Julius Caesar should have picked up a fair amount of war weariness thanks to attacking into the statue of Zeus. Yeah, 476, that's quite a bit. Yeah, he's got 8 unhappy faces now. It's a lot. Statue of Zeus is a pain in the butt. Definitely the second worst designed wonder in the game. Apostolic Palace being the worst. Alright, well, Stalin's joining the party, you guys. Stalin's decided to join in on the fun. We'll see if 2 AI leaders are enough to start swinging this. That's a pretty good stack there, 13 catapults. So now we'll see who's able to pick up territory. Because I think Gandhi can fight one of them to a stalemate. I don't know about fighting 2 of them to a stalemate. As Stalin hops in here with his 53 unit stack. He will almost certainly get this city because he has so many numbers. Yeah, we had a request to put this on YouTube, so I will put it on YouTube for easier viewing. And I'm ticking up the word declaration counter to 6, because that was our 6th war. Right now, I think that the game is between Mansa and Wynakopek. I think one of them is probably going to be the winner. Mansa is in a stronger position right now, but Wynakopek's long-term position is better because he can absorb Montezuma's territory, or he could get some of Gandhi's territory. This city did not have any wonders in it. I'm just curious if like any of these cities had... Alright, so none of the cities that have been captured thus far have been super valuable. This city, though, has a shrine, albeit one where religion hasn't spread that much. Right? That is... Oh, no, never mind. That's not the shrine. That's just Spiral Minaret and Sankor at work. That's not a shrine. I was looking at the wrong thing there. Milanese rifles can walk to Moscow. Yeah, they're not that far off, are they? Moscow's only 3 tiles outside the border. So, Wynakopek, are you, like, still plotting war? Apparently he canceled out of that. Alright, well, felt like that was maybe a missed opportunity on your part to take some easy lands. Wyna. He doesn't like Gandhi. He's cautious with Mansa. He will plot war at pleased, but with aggressive AIs turned off, that probably happens a lot less often. Still, the opportunity's there. The real valuable prize is the Capital Delhi, because it's got Statue of Zeus and a whole bunch of other goodies in there. Plus like a gazillion super great person super specialists. Wait, did a spy just revolt that city? Because that city had defenses, and then suddenly it had no defenses. I think that was a spy revolt in that city. Now we'll see who gets this one. Caesar does have trebuchets, so he'll stop to knock out the defenses. I don't know if Stalin has any siege units left. No, Stalin doesn't have any siege units left. But this defenses should be down, or close to down, after this turn, because Caesar has 6 trebuchets. And he moves before Stalin. Alright, well, he got it to 28%. Like, these two will not coordinate their attacks. They both act as though the other one is not there. A lot of units in that city. 34 units, and there's about a dozen for Stalin. Oh, here comes the rest of Stalin's stack. Most likely outcome might be Caesar coming up just short, and then Stalin captures the city afterwards. Trying to figure out how many units are in the city. It looks like about 15 to 20 in the city. Oh, never mind. Caesar just did it himself. Guess he didn't need the help. Oh, Sydney. You must see something outside. I like this one Aztec city that's just still chilling here, and then like increasingly in the middle of Incan territory. Stalin decided to celebrate by triggering a golden age. Bombay has an academy. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. That's a nice pick. That makes the city better than just some random location. If Caesar can actually capture Delhi, then he can get rid of a lot of his crippling war weariness. Because he has 9 unhappy faces, that will get cut down to 4 or 5. People are saying the number of wars of 5. Are you sure? Let's see. Huayna Capac versus Gandhi. Montezuma versus Huayna Capac. Stalin versus Mansa Musa, and both versus Gandhi. I guess that's right. Maybe I already ticked it up. I trust you. If multiple people are saying it in the chat, I trust it. That's right. So Julius Caesar is going to be the largest civ in the game after this war is over, but technologically he will be backwards, and that does create some kind of weird dynamics. Because like these two, like Mansa Musa and Huayna Capac both have rifles. They're a good ways ahead of Julius Caesar, who's still fighting with the medieval army, but he's definitely going to have the most territory, and that does count for a lot. So I don't know, we'll see. So now Stalin's army is kind of like got the inside pole position here. Gonna have to bombard the city defenses. Did Gandhi not build castles in his cities? Or does he have a castle in here as well? And we just can't see it. Alright, he did build a castle. We just can't see it because there's some gunpowder units here. So it's not displaying the 100%. Gandhi goes to free religion. That would improve his relations with some leaders if he wasn't already at war with 2 of them. So, pacifist Justinian still just teching away. But Huayna Capac is back to plotting war. He's probably seeing, hey, Gandhi's really weak. Why don't I just walk in and take some cities? So this city is reasonably well defended, but those defenses should be down pretty soon. Mansa gets a key wonder in the Statue of Liberty. Free specialist in every city. He's also got Sistine, so he's getting culture from all these guys. I wonder if he's got a shot at a cultural victory. Don't be shocked if Mansa decides to go for culture with Sistine plus all those free specialists. Alright, so the defenses are slowly dropping here. No one's attacked yet. Now, Caesar does move before Stalin in turn order, so this is probably a Julius Caesar capture, just because he's going to move followed by Stalin. Yep, and that's what happened for Stalin. But big pickup for Caesar. Stalin has only gotten 1 city thus far. Statue of Zeus is really nice. Spiral Minaret is kind of nice too. Plus gold from every Buddhist building. Yeah, that's actually nice. I mean, that kicks in a fair bit of money. And there's where we were expecting to see. Although he doesn't seem to have like a big stack charging across the border. Oh, never mind, here it is. I missed it. 47 units, yeah. So that is now war declaration number 6. Huayna Capac starting this. So, and it looks like Caesar's headed for rifling. I would be surprised if he's not. He is very militarist. He has militaristic tech preferences. So yeah, he's on the rifling path. And he's going to have a lot of territory at the end of this war. I don't know if he can hold on to this city, because it's probably going to flip over to Stalin. But He's picked up 1, 2, now 3 cities, and we'll see how many more spoils he can get. This one looks like it's ink and bait, though. I mean, rifles against longbows? Yeah, that's not much of a fight. As a random Milanese knight, like, walks through. Also, Justinian's like, don't forget about me, I'm pretty far ahead in tech. I've got a lot of cottages back in my core. He builds Kremlin. Anyway, so Varanasi should get captured, and there it goes. Nice pickup for Wynakopek. He can move much fast, so nothing too special in there. I don't know why there's a terrace with 4 culture in here instead of 2. But he should be able to move pretty quickly because his units, like, he's going to have rifles that get tremendously good odds against anything in these cities. He's got to hope he doesn't bring siege units along and he just flat out attacks because he should be able to kill pretty easily. We do see some splitting up of the AIs here. Stalin has gone east towards Pataliputra, and Caesar is going to the northwest. Pataliputra is the more valuable city because this is a holy city, although it doesn't have a shrine. No Confucian shrine here. Oh, and now Justinian's okay. Well, he was just bought into the war by someone else. He doesn't have any units here, but they will be on their way. We'll see if he can grab anything. All right, poor Gandhi. War with Wynakopek, worst enemy. War with Julius Caesar, worst enemy. War with Justinian, worst enemy. War with Stalin, worst enemy. Monty is still in this game, although he hasn't been doing a lot. Oh boy. So yeah, those Byzantine units, this will probably be over by the time they get up there, but we'll see. All right, so we've got attacks incoming at Pataliputra. As far as whether this gets taken... All right, so we are turn 200, but we'll wait until this war is over to look at like a lot of stats. Whether Stalin or Wynakopek gets this will be interesting to see. I think Stalin has the inside track. I think he's got the good odds to take it. Although Wynakopek does move first, so... Oh no, poor Stalin! He came up short. Wynakopek's gonna grab it now. That's too bad. Also, Caesar turned around and started walking back in this direction, so who the heck knows where he's going. I guess now he's going north. That's another large, valuable city for the Incan leader.
For a young man killed in battle to lie mangled by
I will toss us into the classical era, though, for in terms of music.
Appear fair.
Just so we can get something slightly different. Gandhi's got a lot of nice cities. This one, again, didn't have any wonders in it. Oh, yes, it does. It has Versailles. What am I saying? It does have a wonder. And it's a really nicely positioned Versailles because Cuzco's over here, and now there's a Western Incan capital, so that's a nice pickup. Two cities thus far for Wynakopek in this war. Oh, here comes some random Byzantine calves running up here. Now it's just a free-for-all as far as who gets what. Yes, Link Mario Samus. The championship game has been generated with all the standard settings. This city has exactly 2 units left. I believe Julius Caesar moves before Justinian, I think. So I think this is a Roman capture. Oh no, it's an Incan capture. Because Wynakopek moved even before Caesar. Wynakopek moved first, because he is the overall score leader in historical AI Survivor. So he moved first, and because it was just catapults, he just walked in with some random cavalry. Yeah, Wynakopek's been getting a ton, even though he joined this war very late. He's been getting a ton out of it. He's picked up 1, 2, 3, 4 cities as a result. Although Caesar, I do think, gets this final one. Unless he somehow doesn't attack for no clear reason. For some reason, Caesar didn't attack, so maybe he doesn't get this city. Alright, he did on the delayed turn. So first to die ended up being Gandhi in this game. Thus everybody's war weariness faded away. So yeah, Wynakopek really did well to get almost half the spoils. Poor Stalin got only one city, even though he did a lot in the war. Justinian didn't get anything, but he also didn't really commit much of anything. All right, let's look at the relations now. So Huayna pleased with everyone except Mansa Musa. Julius Caesar is pleased. He's friendly with his religious allies, so he won't fight them at all. Pleased with Huayna annoyed with Mansa, cautious with Monty. Justinian's pleased with 3 different people, except he doesn't like those 2. Doesn't like Mansa or Montezuma. Stalin pleased with Caesar. Does not like Mansa Musa at all, -2. Mansa doesn't like anyone. He kind of likes Huayna and Justinian. He is now taken over his worst enemy. And Montezuma doesn't like him either. Alright, so our scoring, our graphs. So if Huayna yeah, so that's why I said Huayna and Mansa. Mansa's ahead like in the 1v1 between them, but Mansa's diplomacy is much weaker because he's kind of hated by everyone due to his high peace weight. Production, food. Caesar's now the leader in food because he grabbed those extra cities. Power, those 2 are tops. Poor Montezuma. Culture, Mansa with the culture. If you're curious about research, Huayna at 800 beakers. Caesar, 900 beakers per turn. Wow. I'm surprised. Is he in a golden age? Just out of curiosity. No, he's not in a golden age. Okay. He just is producing, he's not even, he could even be at 90% science, not 80%. Wow. He's just a good researcher. All right, I mean, Justinian's higher. He's 1100. Stalin is 460. Mansa, oh my god, 1700 beakers per turn. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of research. Is he in a golden age right now? I don't know. He's not. Okay. Also note that he's plus 100 gold at 100% research due to his shrines. He's building research. Okay, well, part of the reason why he's ahead is he's building research in most of his cities. Like, rather than build units, he's taking 37 production and adding it to his speaker count. But still, that's pretty crazy. And Monty is 294. Monty's at least managed to do something, but he's a very weak leader. Someone definitely should pounce on him, especially Huayna. Mansa's about 2 techs away from tanks. No, he's not that far ahead. For him, the next key tech will be assembly line. He's already gone down the combustion line. He's grabbed the freebies here. He's ignored military tradition for some reason, so he can't build cavalry. Like, Huayna fairly close. Huayna about 3 techs behind. And his research rate should improve now that he's grabbed these additional cities. So Mansa's next big tech will be assembly line. That would get him the extra factory production, and it would also get him infantry for another useful unit. If he ignores it, though, for too long, he will leave himself vulnerable. Look at that, Justinian's already heading for assembly line. It does feel like the tech rate's being pushed a little bit faster in this game, in part because we have some good economic leaders, and also in part because the leaders are spending less time fighting and more time focusing on their economies. Caesar even tossed down another little city here, which was a good, smart decision. He might as well. He should be the leader in terms of land area. Yeah, he's 23% pop, 23% land area, so he's tops in both, apparently. Not tops in economy, though. I wonder if Huayna has an outside shot at a diplomatic victory, too. Because I think... Well, no, never mind. Caesar would be the one nominated. Because he has the highest population. He would have a shot at that, because a lot of people like Caesar. Where's how people feel about him? Yeah, Justinian would vote for him, and Stalin would vote for him. Because they're both friendly. Maybe he's got an outside shot at a diplomatic victory. That said, Mansa is still racing through the tech tree, so if he does not get attacked, like if no one comes after him, I would say he's still got a really good shot to win, either by culture or by spaceship, just because his economy is so ridiculously strong. Like, we can check to see if anyone's plotting war real quick. Nope, doesn't look like it. Well, Caesar's on the case. He does have a small border with Mansa. It's like, well, Caesar's already plotting war. That didn't take long, now did it? Probably good news for Kopach. How about Stalin? Nope. How about Monty? No, he is not interested. Yeah, tech trading is... We always keep tech trading off for these games. It's a good question. I've found that the games are way more interesting with tech trading turned off, because when you have tech trading on, the AIs just toss text back and forth like crazy. The AIs having to research their own text makes it more fun, because then if they fall behind, they can't just suddenly negotiate for the text they're missing. They're actually like behind, and then they often just get killed because they can't come up with the text. So it's a good question. But that's been my experience, that the games are a lot more interesting when the AIs can pull ahead and fall behind and they have to research their own stuff. Oof, Stalin's land. Stalin's getting squeezed pretty badly on culture. Because, like, this is a 100 culture per turn city here. And then Mansa, we know, is very powerful culturally. Caesar's apparently hasn't lost the city yet, even though it has like 5% odds to flip each turn. So yeah, his territory is like this little squiggly line of red running in between other people's territories. Poor guy. He's almost fallen below Montezuma, in part because he can't work any tiles. So we're kind of waiting for Caesar to do his thing and start the next war. Because Mansa still continues building every wonder under the sun. I mean, here's Caesar's power, and here's Mansa, so he's spiking in power as he's just cranking out cabs everywhere. And the UN is being built by... Oh, you know what? The UN could be built here and then captured by Caesar, which would be really interesting if that happens. How culturally crushed is Vladivostok? Pretty bad. Has 1% odds to flip each turn. Even though it has 500 culture, it's still at high risk of flipping because there's so much Mansa culture on it. Those of you might remember we did the passive-aggressive Hattie game where we culturally flipped every city in the world and scored a conquest victory. All right, Stalin's got a large stack here, 64 units. I don't suppose he's plotting war, nope. Caesar, did you change your mind, or... No, still we have enough on our hands right now. I mean, he could be plotting with someone else. It's not guaranteed that he's attacking Mansa. It's just most likely. He can't attack Justinian, but anyone else he could theoretically attack. I mean, like, oh, here's his big doom stack. 80 units. 80 units. Would be better for... Yeah, it actually would be better for Caesar not to take it from Mansa. That's right, because he will be up against Mansa regardless, because he's top in population. He wants Mansa as an opponent because so many people dislike Mansa. You're right that he shouldn't want to take it away. Yeah, our Friday series will continue after AI Survivor ends. That's right. So... just waiting for some more action to break out here. Poor. So Sumerian did ultimately flip, because now it's a Russian city. Look at poor Agra, though. This city is like, can I work some tiles? And Vladivostok revolted, so that's one revolt. 2 revolts is a flip, so it's already revolted 1 time. Oh yeah, and the Mali cities are quietly creeping up there in terms of culture. All right, so as expected, it's Kopach and Mansa Musa in the Secretary General election. And Mansa's researching assembly lines, so he's picking up now the tech he needs to pick up. Doesn't make him immune to aggression, but it makes him a heck of a lot safer. Alright. Wait a minute. How did Kopach take over? I thought it was Julius Caesar. What? Did that just suddenly flip? Interesting. What happened? Did they change in between turns who had more population? I would like, didn't it say Julius Caesar? Okay, I guess it flipped in between turns as far as who had more pop. So Wina Kopek 24.74. Julius Caesar, yeah, I guess it flipped. Wina Kopek has 7 more pop, apparently. Alright, well, there's the war declaration. Here comes the units. 77 units incoming. So Julius Caesar against Mansa Musa. Alright. Big question will be, does he pull in allies? So this is how Mansa feels about the other leaders. He doesn't really like most other people. This down here is how other leaders feel about Mansa. So Wynakopek's cautious. Justinian's cautious. Stalin's annoyed. Montezuma's annoyed. Don't be surprised if some other leaders jump into this. And this is war number 8. So cavalry are not great against infantry, but if you have enough of them, they can make it work. Cavalry can handle most units, just because they're really strong units in and of itself. Wouldn't be shocked if well, I don't know if Wynakopek's liked quite enough. Where do people feel about it? Justinian would vote for him. Looks like Justinian's the only one who would vote for him, but Caesar would vote for him because he's at war with Mansa, so he might be able to. Mansa got flight before assembly line. That's not great, but we've certainly seen a lot worse than that. Caesar's big doom stack is running around up here. He needs to get it down to Wallata. Remember, this city has the United Nations, so if Caesar takes this, he would then become the UN opponent because UN is the person who has the most population, and the other candidate is the person who controls the UN. So if Caesar captures this, he's suddenly going to be Wynakopek's opponent, and then the vote will be split, and neither one will have enough votes to win. Of course, they might not call for a Diplo victory either. The AI often doesn't do that. The AI often wastes time on other stuff. Mansa's on industrialism, so he's going to have tanks as soon as he finishes that. He is probably strong enough to push back Caesar because his tech is so much more advanced. He's a full era ahead. See, like, look, Wynakopek apparently decided to call resolution for single currency trade route instead of the Diplo victory. So that's just like a waste of time. Unfortunately, there's only 4 trebuchets in this stack, so we might be here for a while trying to bombard down the defense. Oh, never mind. I guess the defenses got taken out pretty quickly. So everybody votes for that. Yay, extra trade routes all around. Congratulations. Oh, well, here comes the allies. Oh, what's going on? Everybody's piling in. Justinian declares war. Stalin declares war. Oh boy. Well, this is certainly good for Wynakopek's chances of winning the game. Because now it's a 3-way war. Wynakopek's like, all right, I'm just going to build in tech over here. As this city gets closer and closer to flipping all the time. Yeah, all these tiles are going to flip over to Incan control soon. But Wynakopek's like, yeah, you guys, you have fun with that. I'm just going to chill over here. No, the Apostolic Palace is not in this game. Look, theology, no AP. It's not in the game. It felt like an Apostolic Palace gang up war declaration, but it wasn't. It was quite possibly Caesar just bribing them into the war, because they were probably pretty eager to do so anyway. Here comes Justinian's got a stack of 27. How about Stalin? He'll have a stack somewhere. Alright, the fact that Stalin didn't immediately charge over the border with a ton of units suggests to me that he was bought into the war. I think Justinian might have started it on his own. In any case, Wallata is going to come under attack. Let's see if it falls. Up, and it did fall. So that's a transfer of United Nations ownership. That doesn't happen very often, so I'm not sure if they have to like re-elect the Secretary General or how that functions. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter until the next election. For right now, Wynakopek just controls it. And Caesar's apparently picked up assembly line because I see infantry in his cities, and I see him building factories and such. So he's running plus 300 gold because he's upgrading his infantry or his rifles to infantry right now. So that's kind of a power spike for him. This is probably it for Mansa Musa because even though he's really strong, 3v1's a lot to ask. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 10 cities, and he has 10 cities, and he's up against like 40 cities. Yeah, I don't think we'll see a Diplo victory now because, yeah, that's a good question. What will happen if we see a victory vote called? Because I don't think it'll be Gandhi that Huayna Capac's up against. It should be Caesar because he controls the UN. Yeah, that'll be weird if we see that happen. I'm kind of hoping we do see a vote called just so we can see what the heck happens. So here's Stalin sieging up. He's got grenadiers against infantry, but no, they're going to call for single currency. Even though it's already passed, the AI calls the exact same vote again. Infantry and machine guns defending against grenadiers. That said, once the walls are down and you throw in the collateral, the siege units for collateral damage, grenadiers can definitely win that. And there's just not enough infantry there. Quantity beats quality. Does controlling the UN count if the one controlling it doesn't have the tech to build it? I don't know. I don't know how that functions. The UN doesn't get captured very often. Oh, that was an odd peace out from Julius Caesar. I'm surprised that Caesar signed peace. This is another thing. When aggressive AI is in play, the AI is less likely to sign a peace treaty to end a war. Oh, Julius Caesar picked up Christo too. That's really nice. Now he's basically a spiritual civ. Gets to flip civics without going through anarchy. Still, I think it would have been better for Caesar to stay at war because he would have had a chance to pick up more territory, which he kind of needs. He's not winning the game from his current situation. Well, machine guns can hold amazing number of outdated units, but that's because they have the drill promotion. Without the drill promotion, they wouldn't be able to do that. They have the innate first, well, not drill, they have the innate first strike. Excuse me, that's the right term. Yeah, they have innate first strike. Otherwise, they would not be able to do that. Stalin still doesn't have rifling yet. Uh-oh. Still no rifling for him, or for Monty. Very backwards. This city's starved all the way down to size 1 now. So it desperately tries to build culture. The poor citizens of Calyx. Anyway. So yeah, Caesar hopping out of that war means that this city was... Oh, yeah, Mansa's kind of on the offensive against Stalin, who doesn't even have rifles yet. He's being attacked by infantry and like paratroopers and artillery pieces. So Justinian's in this war, although we haven't really seen a lot of units show up from Justinian just yet. The stack seems to be petering out down here. Like Justinian, I guess he has tanks though. Wait, does Gandhi still have oil? Yes, he does. I was like, because Gandhi can build tanks too, but we haven't really seen any Milanese tanks yet. Wynakopic's also researching the tanks technology. So what's this plastics? Did he turn on the culture slider all of a sudden? Oh, here we go. Mansa's making his play for the win, you guys. He turned on the culture slider. Dun dun dun. Mansa. I'm sorry if I said Gandhi. I meant Mansa. And he's not that far away. Look at this. Degene is at 26k already. So he is set to win in 47 turns. It's going for culture. All right. This is a smart move. I think this is his best option to win. Mansa Musa is still at war with Justinian and Stalin. If I am... Yeah, he's still at war with both of them. Justinian has not sent very many units over to this war. So maybe he wasn't planning to fight it. Maybe he just got pulled into the war by Julius Caesar. As far as the power bar graphs go, so Caesar is overwhelmingly tops. Mansa has climbed. Justinian and Stalin don't have a lot of military power. It's all Julius Caesar. He's still cranking out more. All right, he has enough on his hands, so he's probably plotting to go back to war again. This could be a great finish as far as whether Mansa can get over the cultural limit before these other leaders try to attack him. And meanwhile, Wynakopac's doing his research thing. He just triggered another golden age. He's got to have an outrageous speaker output. This is with him not even running the slider fully. He's on 40% gold there. Yeah, so Mansa's tech will not advance, but he was pushing for the cultural win. right now. None of his cities seem to be in any danger at all. This poor city has no tiles that can work, so it's starving frantically. And then we've still got the UN weirdness going on too. So we've got a number of different paths. Monty isn't the weakest anymore. So yeah, this is the city that's 37 turns. That's not a lot of time. I mean, he's due for like a turn 280-ish victory for culture. These other leaders have to get down there and capture those cities, or else it's going to be a victory for old Mansa Musa. Even in a situation like this where the diplomacy's... What's going on? What if I unplug the mouse? Okay. Something is obviously off. Okay, that fixed it, apparently. Did Wynakopek stop running this? No, he's still saving up gold. Is he plotting war? He is the score leader at this point. Alright, he's got enough on his hands. Who's he going after? Does he want to go after Mansa? Does he want to polish off Montezuma, which would be an easy conquest? Or does he want to head after one of the other leaders? Keep an eye on him. We do have some tanks coming out here. A little stack of 17. Does Wynakopek have oil? Good question. He should. He's got a lot of territory, but we can double check. Global emancipation vote. So he does appear to have oil, so that's not an issue. And remember, Julius Caesar's plotting war too. Probably going back after Mansa Musa, you would think. He's got infantry, although he's now back to research in every city, but... So we got a pretty good finish on our hands here. Mansa frantically trying to get over the limit on culture. Justinian fighting, Wynakopek about to fight someone, Caesar about to get back in the mix. A lot going on. Alright, enough request spam. Yeah. Everybody always votes for emancipation. Stalin is just not having it. Oh, well, apparently Wynakopek was like, I've gotten a little bit tired of having poor Monty down next to me this whole game. So this will not take long. This is a smart move from Wynakopek just to run over the very, very weak Montezuma and get him off the map. So that's our 11th war, and he took 2 cities on the first turn of the war. Calix, which was completely surrounded, and Teotihuacan. And there's only 4 cities left. So Monty, not really that interesting in this game. He just was too weak. There goes Tlatelolco. I didn't mind having him in this game because it was an example, like, this was a game full of very strong AIs, and Monty is not a strong AI, so it was useful to see, hey, you know what? Compared to these top-tier AIs, he's really bad. And getting to see the contrast between the actual all-stars and this is like a third-tier scrub that comes in off the bench, like a walk-on on a basketball team, and is up against, like, the all-stars. And you see what happened. Aggressive AI did seem to make a difference. We did seem to have fewer wars. There was less fighting earlier on, and the AIs focused more on economy. But this has still turned into a really fun game, so I think it's worked out just fine. Meanwhile, now the Wynakopek tanks are like running through Mansa's territory. But I think this is going to be the city targeted next. Yeah, I mean, it's tanks against cavalry, so... He even has the destroyers out here taking out the defenses. Russian grenadiers fighting against tanks down here. And we've got the tank-on-tank battles between Mansa Musa and Justinian. I think Mansa's okay against what's currently fighting. I think if Julius Caesar re-enters, then he's in trouble. But for now, I think he's okay. He's 30 turns away from winning a cultural victory, too. Because Degene is over 30,000 now. And, like, it's nice for Wynakopek to take out Montezuma, but maybe he should be attacking Mansa instead, because his time is starting to run out on this game, given the cultural victory thing. Also, I have no idea how this city hasn't been captured yet. 1 rifle and 1 cav left. Now Justinian signed peace. So now, uh-oh, this could be pretty bad for Stalin, because Stalin is still in this war. And he's all alone against Mansa Musa right now. Mansa lost his oil, did he? Did he get pillaged, or did he lose a city that had it? Oh, this was pillaged, okay. His oil, yeah, his oil got disconnected, it got pillaged. So he's kind of at a moment of weakness right now. Poor Stalin, though, left alone to deal with Mansa. Alright, so there's only 3 cities left. 2 of them in the core, and then this random other city over here. As Monty is continuing to fall apart. So it is Huayna against Julius Caesar. That vote should be split. I'll be curious to see which one of them wins that vote. Did this city get captured by Stalin? Need to refresh the map. And Julius Caesar, what are you doing, buddy? You were plotting war earlier. Did you cancel out of that? No, still apparently plotting war. Although he's building research in every city, so I don't know what he's driving toward. Maybe he's driving towards tanks and he's just waiting until he gets there. Alright, he is driving towards tanks. Let's just see how close Huayna is to finishing the tech tree. He's not especially close. He's got the whole modern era yet left to go. So he's not especially close to finishing this off. Mansa is about the same, but remember, Mansa is just running the slider right now. Trying to get across the line here. 27 turns. Yeah, not a lot of time left. These AIs better get their butts in gear, or Mansa's just going to win via culture and put everybody else to shame. Also note that Julius Caesar does not have mass media tech, but he's still able to become the Secretary General. And he definitely doesn't have enough votes to win. As expected, the vote gets split. Julius Caesar pulled votes from himself and Justinian and Stalin, but Huayna has almost as many as all of them combined, and Mansa is not going to vote for anybody. And Monty's about to die, so he just lost this city over here. So yeah, that's about it for right now. We're mostly waiting to see if Caesar is going to hop back into this war. I mean, we're watching Monty die, obviously, but like Mansa is on the offensive. Mansa's tanks are starting to rip right through the Russians, who got left out to dry by their allies. Mansa's like, thanks, don't mind if I do. I'm gonna run right over your cities. Like Rostov, I can't see lasting very long. Not against these tanks. Tank against rifle is a rather one-sided matchup. Yep, there it goes. And it's not like Stalin even controls much of the territory around his own cities, because he's so culturally crushed. And you just see all these waves of tanks rolling across the fields. So, I mean, the thing is, Stalin, I don't know. I haven't thought that he's an especially great AI, but he's won a lot of games. He won Season 3 in dominant fashion, and then he went back to the championship in Season 4, so it wasn't like a fluke thing. He's definitely done well in a lot of our games. I think the current ratings probably overrate him by a little bit, but he's not a terrible AI. I think he's done well enough times that it's... Oh wait, Julius Caesar declares war on Monty. Oh no! Against Monty! That's who he was plotting against. Oh no! Montezuma! And meanwhile, look what just hit legendary culture. Oh, Julius Caesar, you weren't plotting against Mansa? You were plotting against Montezuma the whole time? Oh boy. That's, well, that means Mansa's getting awfully close to the finish line here. Because he's only 21 turns away now. That probably seals it, because remember, the AI won't start a war if they're already in a war. And it's going to be another 5 turns until Monty's... Well, maybe not 5 turns, but it's going to be a couple more turns until Monty's dead. And by the time they can get their units over there... Oh, stop the war against Stalin. Stalin's like, please, I'm dying over here. Help me, please. My whole empire looks like somebody drew a straight line or something. That is a very oddly shaped empire. Well, anyway, I suspect this war will probably be stopped in the UN. Strange that Julius Caesar called for stop the war. I guess it makes sense. Stalin's his friend and Stalin's dying, so he's calling for the war to end. By the way, is Wina Kopek also going for a cultural victory? So, as expected, it succeeded. Everybody voted yes except Mansa, who voted no. I think Wina Kopek's also going for a cultural victory. Yeah, he's also turned on the slider. Look at that. Apparently, they both decided that plastics was the tech to stop at. So that's a forced peace treaty. Let's see how close Wina Kopek is. Not close. Not close at all. His highest city's 113k. Meanwhile, Degene's at 42,000. And is set to go legendary in 14 more turns. No such luck for Monty, though. Yeah, Julius Caesar declared war on Montezuma. I was not expecting him to run completely around the world to go attack Montezuma. But Monty is a weak target, and the AI does like to sniff out weakness. So there's no city defenses for Texcoco because the destroyers and battleships knock them out. Wait, is Julius Caesar going to get the last? I mean, we're not. This is not a scored game, but it looks like Caesar's going to get the last. Is going to get the killing blow and vulture this away from Wina Kopek, even though Caesar literally took one city. Ah, boy. Oh well. You think Mansa popped an artist? Well, he's only 9 turns away now, regardless. So this looks like he's got it. A wire-to-wire performance from Mansa, who was hated by the rest of his like he was not popular this entire game, but he's just a really good AI, and he's managed to thread the needle and keep kicking in this game. So yeah, I mean, you can see how people feel about him. He's the worst enemy of Caesar, Justinian, and Stalin. Not Wina Kopek, interestingly enough. I guess Wina Kopek doesn't have a... Wina Kopek kind of likes everybody. Yeah, Caesar hates him, Justinian hates him, Stalin hates him, but I don't think it mattered. I think this is done. Mansa's got it. He just turned on that slider, and he was like, alright, I'm just going to defend myself. Take your best shot, boys. I'm just going to defend and make you come and take my cities away. Even if they declare war, they'd have to get to either Dejene or what are the other ones? Gao and Timbuktu. Gao is somewhat more exposed. This city might potentially have a chance of falling, but I mean, if they're not even at war, it's not likely. Then they didn't take their best shots. He was shielded by Gandhi. It's true. He did get protected a little bit by Gandhi. That said, once Gandhi was gone, I did think that he would be the next one to go, and it just did not end up happening in this game. Like, he lost Wallata. If the thing that's bad for Caesar is he stopped after one city. Like, this was probably the next city he would have attacked. And because like if you look geographically, like this city he captured, but like the legendary cities are Gao, Dejene, and Timbuktu. So if he had just kept going to any of these 3 cities, that's probably it. Because like, I mean, like the other cities that are in the core, like this city's not even remotely close to Kedah. What's another? Sullla? Like that city's not close. That city's 70 turns away. So it really was these 3 cities. Like if any of them had been lost at any point in time, that would have been it. I don't think it's possible to lose now either. These cities are way too deep inside Mansa's core. I don't see how anyone gets over there to capture them. And like time's up. This city goes legendary next turn. And Dejene goes legendary in 4 turns. Defensive pact, okay. So, surprise, Mansa Musa shows that he is still one of the best AIs in this game. He really is. Now, would it have been different if we'd had aggressive AI turned on? Maybe. Could very well have been a different scenario. But in this game that was a little bit more peaceful, he looks like he's the one who came out on top. I did not think he would do as well as this. I thought that he would have a great early game, and then his diplomatic situation being so bad would ultimately cost him the game. But all I have to do is click next turn twice, and he's the winner. So Congrats to Mansa, showing like we haven't seen a really dominant Mansa performance in a while because he got eliminated in his opening round game for season 4 and season 5. So it's nice to get a game like this and show, yeah, you know what, Mansa's still really, really strong. More games than the average, true, but this was a game with 7 AIs, not 6. And that does affect things. So maybe it didn't affect things as much as we thought. Anyway, this is the last turn. The Gene's going legendary. It missed it by only 300 culture that turn. Sistine Chapel definitely helped Mansa a lot too. I don't think he would have been that close to the victory without Sistine. Without aggressive AI, the wildcard game would be huge. Yeah, it would be. We'd have a giant wildcard game. So there you go. Mansa's the winner with a cultural victory, an early, early cultural victory. Turn 276 is very, very fast. That's about as fast as we've ever seen a cultural victory. So let's watch the replay, shall we? So what were some of the key things that happened in the early settling race? I think one thing that was significant was that Stalin kind of got squeezed. Like Stalin was never really a factor because Justinian squeezed him on one side and Mansa squeezed him on the other side. I think the other big thing is how weak Montezuma was. He just was so far behind the whole game. He was kind of out of it. So we had, in terms of like piece weight distribution, we had some very low piece weight leaders. We had Stalin, Montezuma, and Huayna Capac are all very low. We had 2 very high, Gandhi and Mansa Musa. And then Caesar and Justinian are more in the middle. So I think part of the reason why Mansa was able to do better in this game is Stalin was very weak and Montezuma was very weak, and that meant that the high piece weight AIs weren't just like crushed instantly. It took a long time for Gandhi to be finished off. Like if Gandhi goes down earlier in the game, like I mean we're like 200 turns into the game here and no one's been eliminated yet. And we didn't really have a lot of wars either, which maybe was due to aggressive AI being off. Hard to say. But like look how long it takes for Gandhi to be eliminated. He doesn't get eliminated until 1470. That's right around turn 200 if I remember correctly. So that's a slow first elimination. And that just buys Mansa a lot of time. Then I really did think Mansa wasn't going to make it to the end of the game. I thought he'd get ganged up on. I mean, he did, right? Where's this? Julius Caesar declares war on Mansa. Justinian declares war. Stalin declares war. I mean, he faces a 3-way dog pile, but he survives it. The key thing was Huayna Capac never attacked him. I think if Huayna Capac had jumped in, I think that it's a very different game. But he didn't join, and then Julius Caesar pieced out, and then everybody else decided to use the endgame, wiping out Montezuma instead. And that's all he needed. So, there you go.